Hey, how are you? We're doing a fun painting. As you can tell, I have my water spray bottle, my water-soluble pastels, and my little sponge. And we're going to work, okay? Now I'm picking out colors. Now I had a vision. Okay, stick with me here. I wanted to scribble all over this canvas, spray water at it, let the water colors drip down, leave it, and then figure out what to do with that. Because I've done this before, but I didn't leave any of the water drips. So I was like, okay, they're gonna be the star of the show today. Plus, I can have fun and scribble and spray water at the canvas, and that's all I want to do, really. That's all I want in this world. So I did. I'm starting with a light blue. Now you're gonna see me walk over. It's get in the way of the camera a lot. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just doing my best over here. I did some like peachy pink color, and then I did this yellowy yellow color. Exactly. And scribbling, scribbling, scribbling. I wanted lots of pastels, but obviously that's not going to run together well. There's not a ton of pigment in that. We need a star of the show, if you will, and that is the magenta dark pink-ish color, which we haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know why I'm talking about it. But I am, actually, that's like a burnt orange. That's interesting. I didn't know where I was going with it also, but then I did these dark blue dots. Oh, I did add the dark pink, and you just can't really see it. But you will when they run together, because and then that'll combine with the yellow, but then we have that green and then the blue and the yellow will make a nice bluey green. And then but also, like, what do I know? This is a big old experiment. I don't know what I'm doing. But I do kind of know these colors because I've used them before and mixed them with my flowers. What flowers am I thinking of? I will link them in the description because that's kind of what I was envisioning. But I can't remember what I called them. It was a whimsical something. But back to the painting while I search this. I added lines and dots and then bigger scribbles and little scribbles. I just wanted everything to be different and fun and scribbly. But there I am. And just like, a difference, a depth, if you will. And I can't find them. Rainbow. I think I called them rainbow something. I said I would just put it in the description, but I'm finding it now. No one can stop me. But I can't. I can't find it. I have a pastel rainbow, and I guess that's kind of what this is, but not. And I have a whimsical rainbow, and that's kind of these colors, but also not. Where are you, Christmas? Where can I find you? I'm not looking for Christmas. That's just what came to my head. Oh, never find it. Oh, I think I actually... Sorry. I'm being annoying. Sorry. Okay, I found some of them in the floral art print section. I'll link them. It doesn't matter. But it also reminded me of, though, people said it reminded them of Trix yogurt. Also, there's the water bottle. I'm spraying you. I'm spraying you. Just kidding. I'm not. Don't worry. See, I'm just kidding. But it reminded them of Trix yogurt and the way I blended them together, too, because I, like, blended them as I did the flowers. And it was like that. What were those colors? It was yellow and pink or something. And then it was blue and purple. You know what I'm talking about. And that's kind of the vibe here, too. It's the similar colors, similar vibes. But there was an era where I was obsessed with that color palette. I think it was in the summer. And I just did it all the time. And I should go back to it because it's really fun. But they blend nicely together. I'm very excited at this point. I'm having the time of my life. Nothing could go wrong. Usually when I start a painting, throughout the whole thing, I'm a little doubtful and I'm a little scared. I'm a little annoyed. But at this point, there was nothing wrong with this. It was perfect. And I had absolutely zero worries in my mind. And I was having so much fun. And exactly. So I'm also filming with my phone for the TikTok and Instagram video, which we'll get to that. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. TikTok did really well. The TikTok of it, which, who knows about TikTok anymore with me? TikTok kind of hates me. Lately, it's been Reels that have been doing better. Moving on though, Megan Trainor commented on this video. Like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. How'd I get there? Actually, I was on my For You page one time. I was scrolling, and one of her videos popped up, and it said, follows you. And I was like, excuse me? She followed me. And so I was like, all right. And now we're friends on TikTok. Okay. That's crazy. But moving on. I Sorry, I'm thinking about that again. I got distracted. I did bring out my little sponge, and I like coloring on the wet sponge with my pastel, just like that, and kind of slapping it on the canvas. I wanted more texture, and just, again, I was experimenting. I was just figuring, I don't know. I was like, this could be cool, and it was. I was right, a little bit. I mean, it was just like, okay, sure. And I blended in some parts, some of those lines, I swept the sponge across it and it looked kind of cool, but I didn't do it a lot because I didn't want it too blendy. I wanted those drips and those scribbles to stay. But I added too much blue and I was like, okay, why'd you do that? It kind of reminded me of a wound, even though it's blue. Maybe the wound of a smurf, if you will. Sorry, that's just I don't I don't know. So we obviously have to fix that. And so what I do is I add more colors over those blobs. I added some pink, and I'm not doing it yet. There I am, see? I added like scribbles off to the side to it, so it's not all that same uniform shape. It was just looking too, and again, it reminded me of a smurf wound. A bleeding. At this point, I'm saying, all right, what do we need? Spraying more water because it's fun. I did also with the sponge, I'm looking at that orange, the smeary spots. I did want some bigger chunks of color that weren't just scribbles, so that was nice of the sponge to make those smeary spots. And I'm also adding more just scribbles. And then, am I still adding pink? Yeah, I wanted bigger chunks of pink, but not too much. Just, I did those 2 or 3 or 4 spots. And then I sprayed, oh no, I'm making the flower blobs. Sorry. Moving on. Pivot. Okay, I had the idea to just use my wet sponge to smear around the colors that are already there. I knew it would turn brown, but we'll figure that out. So I'm mapping out spots for flowers. At this point, I'm like, you genius. Okay? No, I don't think about that stuff. I don't think about that. I'm playing with my poppet. I'm sorry. Would you like to hear it? Not that I think I'm a genius, but sometimes I have moments where I'm like, that is a good idea. Good job. We gotta have that. See? You could see it in my eyes. I was proud of myself. Because this was cool. And then I added, so I'm just scribbling over that wet blob, the color, with the pastel colors. And I'm making that less brown. Back to me being proud of myself though, because then I was thinking about with these types of paintings, especially this one where it's just a big old experiment, and it's truly letting my creative little self free, It's just like, okay, do whatever. We can literally scribble on this and spray water at it. And I just think that brings out the best in me. I really do. And it makes me so happy. And a lot of the times I start paintings and I don't fully know what I'm doing. But I'm basically doing the same thing over and over with the flowers. I do flowers, but just different things with them in different forms. So I'm not too worried about it usually. Even if I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I'll just figure it out. And new ideas. And I think doing things that way allows for new ideas and new random things to spring up as I need them. Because if I plan everything out, which I can't because I don't have the capacity to do that, mental or, yeah, I'm not a planner. But also, I don't know. I just need to go for it, and I need to be in the middle of whatever I'm doing to figure it out. It's just how it is, okay? And I'd be sitting here forever if I tried to plan it all out beforehand. That's just not how this works. I think it's just the willingness to try and to be okay if it fails and looks ugly. That will open up a lot of new things. And yeah, I can't really talk because I do the same thing every time. But I do different things with my flowers. And so I have my staple thing that I'm confident in, which is my flowers. But I try to go out of my comfort zones with new styles with them. I mean, it's the same style, but different things like this, drippy flowers and And it just makes things more fun, but also I have that comfort in knowing what I'm doing because I've done it a million times. And I get the comment all the time that I make it look effortless. And I'm like, honestly, the flowers, just drawing flowers, it is. Why? Because I've drawn them 1,000 times. But anyways, we're outlining the flowers in pastels. I didn't know what I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I settled, I was like, okay, I'm going to outline them in flowers. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I can spray them with water and they can drip down. And we'll get to that later. Oh, did you hear that? I don't know what that was. There's something, someone moved a chair above me. I sprayed one with water and I was like, I better wait to do that. I better outline them all and then spray them all at once. I don't know if that even matters, but I'm going to move on. So I'm outlining with a darker color of each color. I like doing that. I love how it looks. But sometimes it's hard to find the darker version of every single color in the same tone. But I usually figured it out, and it's fine. I keep jumping back and forth, but I don't know if I said this. I called these the Creative Mess Florals, which I was very excited about because sometimes I struggle with the name, but when I thought of that, I was like, oh, that's exactly what that is. And it is the inside of my brain, and I too am a mess. And especially when I create things, it's a messy process. And that's what this is. Literally and whatever. I guess this is what you would call an aesthetic mess or a pretty creative mess. Which I get frustrated when I see people's art studios that look so pretty and are perfect and are, or even if they aren't, it's like an aesthetic mess with a color palette. I'm like, what is this? Whereas I am usually ugly messy. There's like piles of paint. It's gross. There's just piles of things everywhere in an ugly manner. But that's just kind of a fatal flaw for me across the board in every aspect. I I don't care about it being messy until it gets to a certain point and I'm like, well dang it. Now I gotta fix this. And if I had just fixed it along the way then we'd be fine. But I don't know what we're talking about anymore. I am still outlining the flowers in their respective colors. And um but yeah. I was talking about the mess. I which this is kind of it is messy. It is messy. It's still aesthetic messy, kind of, but in a messy, messy way. Get what I'm saying? Yeah, you do. Now I'm spraying the water, and at this point, I'm kind of scared. Okay, we were in a place where I was like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but I'm having so much fun and I have no worries. Now we've entered the stage of I don't know what's going on, and I am scared. I'm not having as much fun because this is where it gets. We got to finish this up, okay? We got to do something. We got to wrap this up. We got to finalize it. We got to make it look good and bring it all together. And at this point, it's looking very drippy. And that's what I wanted, sure. But I knew it needed something else. And I was like, hey, do I outline this with something else? I don't know. I go back over it kind of with the pastels because it was losing some of its shape because I have a heavy hand with the water. And I know this about myself, but I can't stop it. But I kind of go back over the centers. And what am I doing now? Who's to say? We're about to see. Oh, I was adding little flowers. So this is what I actually was really glad I added. And this is what I do too when I can't think of something. I stall and I add something else. And today I'm stalling with, or for this one I was stalling with cute little outline flowers and I didn't fill them in. I just wanted that sketched look. And I thought that'd be cute. I thought more little detail. And then I said, you know what? When we don't know what to do, we add gold. That's what I do personally. It just makes everything better. I always say that. I'm also doing some ASMR, brushing some paint on your face. It didn't work out very well. There you go. There you go. Very nice. Thank you so much. Move on now. This is gold acrylic paint, and I mixed it with water, and so it's like a nice little gold wash. And I did some blobs that really, it added what I needed it to, you know? I needed more blobs in there. I needed some more, and it's transparent enough to where you can see what's underneath, but also it covers more space and kind of breaks up everything. And of course, I got out my paint pen. You know what? Again, fixes everything when I don't know what to do. I added some little dots. Not only is it shimmery and pretty, but that's even more texture, and also it's an in-between color, and it kind of moves. It's not like a stark outline of a darker color, but it's not too washed out if I did with white outline, and it's just the perfect middle. Plus it's shimmery and pretty. But at this point I'm just adding dots again to stall, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But again, so then I was like, okay, we're going to outline in gold. That's what we're doing, and I'm going for it. And I'm hoping for the best. And so I decided to just outline everything. I just needed more definition there. And you could still see the pastel outlining underneath. And also when I don't know what to do, I always take from, okay, yeah, all right, that's a great point. I take from what I've done before. I always reuse my work and reuse what I've done in other times of need, when I've been like, what do I do? And I added a gold paint pen, and I was like, oh my gosh, that made everything better. Okay, we take from that, we learn from that, and we go. Obviously. But, so there I am outlining. Oh, also I'm adding, look at those cutie little gold paint pen flowers. I added some, I'm stretching. I added, the pastel little daisy looking flowers, but I did them in different sizes and little clusters with the gold paint pen, and I loved that so much. I loved it. Oh, at this point, here I am. I hit my limit. I said, what is this? I mean, now I love it, so I can't completely remember where I was mentally right in here, but I did kind of hate it. And I said, I wasn't seeing the bigger picture. It was, I just wasn't sure. It was so messy, and I feel like it wasn't coming together, and there was just so much going on. Couldn't sort it out. But I kept going, and I said, shut up and finish it. So I did. I am listening to some tunes. As you can see, my head is moving back and forth, and I am I'm adding more little flowers, and I also added little vines on the bigger flowers, and I liked that. I think it added. It also kind of. Well, here's why I did that. There was weird spacing with some of the leaves, like they didn't fully connect with the flowers in some parts. And so I kind of fixed that with the vines. And I did paint over, like, the drips. Because, like I said, the drips kind of made everything, I don't know, they weren't standing out like they needed to. And so, obviously, you can still see that through the outline. But it's outlined. So you're like, it's there. It's like a flower, but everything's going on. Because it can all be crazy, but we need to bring it together. I'm also, for some reason, adding clips. I guess I'm avoiding finishing the painting, but I was adding in the clips that I was taking into my little editing app. I use InShot, that's what it's called, and I'm almost at the finish line. Okay, we're almost there. I don't know what's happening with my hair. I just noticed it. Also, I did this over the course of 2 or 3 days. Maybe it was, I can't remember how many outfits I changed from now, but I was determined to finish this in this last sitting that I was doing, and I was tired of it, but I was like, finish it, do it. And I was like, okay. And so we have one flower left down there. Go, go, go. You can do what you're doing great. Na 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 na. I want to add this to my little art wall over there, which I already moved things around from what you've seen. Oh, look, there she is. Whoa, okay. All right. Didn't know we were done. I do have an art print of this on my website. I'm keeping the original because, like I just said. Oh, I added white paint pen in the centers of them. I did do that. Felt right. And there's just so much happening. I love her so much. There she is with my rug. Everything I've been doing lately matches that rug. Also, look at that. Ooh, look at her shimmer and shine. But yeah, she's gonna go on my wall somewhere where I paint. Oh, over there. See, I added my little beaded one, and then I think I don't know where I'll add her, but I love her so much. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. What a ride. Okay. Love you. Bye.